Hi, everybody. Welcome back to What We're Watching, a podcast to keep your eye on. I'm your host, Reese Potter,
And I'm Ava Potter.
and welcome back to another lovely week. I believe this is what, episode 12 coming out to you guys? Or 11. Actually, I don't know. Anyway, regardless, it has been a quick 2 weeks. We are back and better than ever since we last talked. The Pit season finale happened. It was crazy, but also not at the same
hmm
time. I feel like it was in true fashion, like very real, like what would happen in real life is like there doesn't need to be some big crazy ending to it. I think everybody that was expecting, okay, like spoiler alert, not spoiler alert, Robbie didn't die, so like my theory, or he didn't get hurt, my theory was wrong. But I think that just shows that like we're so, I guess, always expecting something crazy to happen in shows now because
hmm
of things like Grey's Anatomy, where like a season finale would have like something big and crazy happen. But I'm happy with how it ended. I feel like it kind of it left some things a little open-ended, but also kind of made up, like full circled a lot of things and closed up some storylines.
hmm Yeah. I was definitely like sad that the season is over and now we're gonna have to wait for the next season. But I am excited to see like what they do with like all the returning characters, how they're gonna go about some people leaving and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that Noah Wiley, who plays Dr. Robbie, was talking about how it's going to be set in October, I believe. So he said that when he was talking about it, he's like, cold weathers, the holidays, blah 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 blah, Friday the 13th. So I think if it's not a Halloween episode, because they just did the 4th of July, so I'm not quite sure they would do another holiday, that it could definitely be set at like a Friday the 13th, which means I'm like, okay, we're
Mm.
getting, evening spooky vibes, night shift.
Oh, I would love a night shift
Oh,
episode.
like I'm demanding a night shift episode.
Oh,
I
it'd be
need to
so
see
good.
my Dr. Abbott on my screen more than
Ugh.
just like 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, The
Yeah.
Pit, great. Another show that's been on everybody's radar. Ava, what are you watching this week?
So I have been watching Euphoria. The first two episodes of Euphoria season three have just came out like two consecutive Sundays. So Euphoria Sundays are back.
Yes.
Um, I will say this season is definitely like not what I was expecting. It's definitely a little different than the past two, but makes a little sense though because now they're adults, they're out of high school, so the premise of things are going to be a little bit different. Um, Season three kind of like opens up with like a major time jump of them,
Yeah, I
being
think it's a
adults.
five-year time jump. So now they're
Yeah.
all like adults out of college, or like some of them didn't go to college, stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. So the opening scene is Rue is in Mexico and she's trying to get across the border. She's in this van and it basically kind of talks about how she is now um a like drug smuggler for Lori, which is
Yeah.
the lady in season two, who she owes money to. So that kind of, set this kind of got the underlying issue at the very end of season two that she's going to be in debt to Lori because she lost all the money. Her mom flushed all the drugs away. So now she's in debt toward Lori. So she becomes basically her drug smuggler. Um, with Faye, which is a character that was in season two
Which,
also.
like,
So,
honestly, I'm not gonna
um,
lie, I'm really happy that we're getting a little bit more Faye content because while she's like absolutely ridiculous, I kind of like am obsessed with her energy at the same time too. Like, she's just kind of fun to
it's
like a
just
fun
funny.
character to have on the show,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. The first episode really focuses heavily on Rue, considering like Zendaya, Mama,
Well, I
but
feel like
like,
if you go back to season one, and even season two a little bit, each episode kind of like primarily focuses their energy. Like they talk about every character and you see every plot line, but it focuses the main energy on like one character, which makes sense
Mm-hmm.
why Rue is obviously the main character, why the first episode would be like more
Mm-hmm.
Rue centric, you know?
Mm-hmm. But what I like is how like throughout season one, episode one, um, we see kind of the other characters through Rue's perspective. Um, she goes over to Lexi's house because she's still really good friends with Lexi. So we learn more about Lexi and like what her, work life is outside of high school. And then we go into Maddie right after that. And then after Maddie, it goes into Nate and Cassie. And that's a whole nother
Oh,
that's a whole nother thing. I just can't get over the whole like I don't know, just the
the blackmailing your
dogs
fiance
and
for so you can do OnlyFans
and for $50,000 or
worth of
however much worth of
flowers.
flowers for your wedding.
Okay, so one thing that I've noticed this season is that I feel like the inappropriateness and it's like so much more gross.
It's
Like
amplified.
it's so amplified. It's extremely gross. It's very sexual, which like okay, the show was already it's like it was a sexual show, but I feel like season 1 and season 2 were very kind of like okay, I don't know a better word to say than like euphoric, but you know what I mean? It was that like very sparkly,
Had
dark,
a good
family
balance. It had a good
right.
balance between
And
like sexual content and, their struggle with addiction
right.
and
I felt like
like
it was just I don't know, a very different vibe from this season 3. And I
yes.
think a big portion of that is chalked up to the fact that we don't have Labyrinth on music this season.
That and also, I mean, the cast in general has a lot of, you know, discourse between themselves. A lot of them are not friends anymore,
Oh yeah,
like
Zendaya
they were
said
like
she
at the
was
very
not
beginning.
gonna do any interviews with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, not even just that, but like I mean, Zendaya has history with Jacob Elordi. So it's like how close really are any of them anymore? So
Right,
I
and
think
that's
that
the
kind of
I don't think they
plays into their
are.
acting.
Barbie's
Yeah.
gone. Barbie Ferreira, she's gone. She's
Mhm.
not on the show anymore, which like they haven't even spoken about her character at
Yeah.
all. And so I'm like, are we going to talk about her or just no? And then of course, R.I.P. Angus Cloud and R.I.P. Eric Dane. When Eric Dane came on my screen in episode 2, it hurt me. I love to see that he was continuing to work. So for those that don't know, Eric Dane was diagnosed with ALS. He recently passed. I believe it was the beginning of this year. He passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, and so he had been diagnosed before they started like filming this season. So the way that he's like talking, standing, sitting, acting, you can definitely tell is like early on in his diagnosis, but it's like affecting him.
Mhm.
It's so sad to see, but I'm happy that he got to continue to do what he loved up until
Mhm.
the end, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Speaking of episode two, because that's where we see Cal for the first time, which is Eric Dane. Um, episode two kind of goes more into um like obviously there's like Rue's storyline of like her now working for Alamo because that's like the end of like episode one. She ends up, I don't want to say like taken hostage, but like taken by a different powerful person and is
Right.
now
And now
working for
this guy,
them.
he runs a bunch of strip clubs. And so Rue is intrigued.
Exactly. But I feel like episode two, not only, I mean, that focuses a lot, obviously, on Rue, but I think it focuses a lot on Cassie and her dilemma of wanting to be, I want everyone to know who I am. I feel like if everybody knew who I was, then I would
Right.
be
Also
so
Maddie too.
awesome.
I feel like it really shows a
Hmm.
lot of like Maddie's backstory, which is gonna really it ties them together really well because you hear Maddie's backstory of her being, like a manager of social, influencers and then turning that into women being a manager of girls on OnlyFans and stuff like that. And then when Cassie reaches back out to her, like why that her background and that connection matters because Cassie obviously now wants to be on OnlyFans.
Exactly. So we get their like reconnection, which is that whole scene. I was like rooting for Maddie there. Like she was like eating down. Like
Yeah.
Cassie, I just can't. Every episode, I'm just like sitting there looking at the screen, being like, every time. I'm just
Y'all
like,
know how we feel about Sydney Sweeney. Like we are hashtag not fans. Um,
but anywho, the end of the episode, um, I don't want to spoil it too much. That's why I'm like trying not to go into like everything that happens in every episode. But the end of the episode, we see Rue and Jules reunite again, and
ugh,
Jules is living in the city as basically like a sugar baby. So that's really interesting. Which I'm excited to see how they dive into that more a little bit. Um, I I don't know. I'm really excited to see the character dynamics too, and like how they all interact with one another now that they're out of high school, haven't seen each other in a while, like
right.
what their relationships will end up
I
becoming.
really am eager to see how they build up that character development because unfortunately, as of right now, it just seems like they're all the exact same person that they were in high school. I'm
Hmm.
ready to see somebody show that they're different than the person that they were 5 years ago.
Hmm.
I will say I wasn't impressed, or like, I wasn't as excited after seeing episode one. I was like, damn, they like this is gone to shit. Like,
Me
this is
too.
not gonna be good. Episode two gave me a little bit more hope.
Yes.
I was feeling episode two a little bit more. But like I said, it's a hard watch because it's become so graphic in like a like gross standpoint and also like sexual standpoint. And that's just like Sam Levitan as a person, and I just like don't know how I feel about him in general, the
Yeah.
writer and director of the show.
Mm. It's definitely um sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna say. Um, I feel like for me, the show's always been kind of a hard watch, but it was easier to watch when it was high school,
Right.
which like I don't know, I feel like it focused more on the addiction.
Right. It was more
And
about like
now
the
it's like
drugs.
personal stakes of like
Yeah.
love, school, addiction, family. And now I feel like it's more on like life or death. It's like crime, drugs, money,
It
you
was
know,
what, 5 years ago that the last season, 2021 or 2022?
I think it
It
was
was I mean,
21.
it was 4 or 5 years ago. So you can think that like you were early high school when that last season came out. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy to think about.
I think I was a sophomore when
Yeah,
season two came out.
right. Because oh yeah, because I was a sophomore in college at that time
2019 was the first episode
of season two.
of season one.
Oh, of season one. I was like, oh. But yeah, it just goes to show that like a lot has changed for us too, I guess. The person that I was when I watched season one is not the person that I am now.
Mhm.
Um, I wish I would have done a rewatch of the first two seasons before this season came out. I should have, and I didn't. Not that I don't really feel like I necessarily forgot stuff, but I just kind of would have liked to see a little bit more of, you know, like I said, the dynamics. Like, are the characters changing at all? Have they, grown as characters, or are we just getting like the same people, but
Or we
it's
just
a
getting a completely
time
new
jump?
plot. Yeah,
Right.
and just getting a whole new plot. Um, yeah, I did rewatch a little bit. I have like the past couple months. I've, watched a couple episodes or like turn it on and like do homework or whatever and just like listen
Right.
to it or whatever. So I do remember a good chunk of what happens, but I feel like it's the kind of show that you don't really ever forget because it's like engraved into your mind.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, excited to see how the rest of the season goes. That's for sure, though.
I am too. I think, I don't know. This is confirmed the last season. Zendaya said she was hashtag dipping out,
I would
which
too.
is it's crazy to me. I think that At the beginning of this show, how literally Zendaya was the biggest name on the show. And frankly, I don't think anybody else, okay, aside from Eric Dane, I don't think any of those other actors would have the career that they have without Euphoria and Zendaya.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Like,
agree fully.
I guess Jacob Elordi had the kissing booth, but I don't think, I mean, Jacob Elordi now is I would say a household name. You know, he's
Hmm.
in critically acclaimed films.
Hmm.
And I think if
He's
his,
Oscar nommed,
right, like, I think if
award
he
nominated.
would have just been known as like the kissing booth guy, it, I think he would have kind of fallen into that like Noah Centino, Joey King, like
Hmm.
that realm of actors who don't have enough like substance under their name as an actor, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think of all of them, the one who has like the like hasn't I guess doesn't have the fame level as the other ones, or like the lowest fame level would be Alexis Demi, in my opinion, or Alexa Demi, who plays Maddie. And I would like to see more of her. I wish that she would have gotten the fame and the boost that the show gave Sydney Sweeney.
Hmm.
Because, like,
I agree.
why? Why is Sydney Sweeney there? I'm really
Yeah.
grateful that this show put Hunter Schafer kind of on the map because I think she is a phenomenal actress. Like, everything that I see her in, I'm just like blown away by.
Which the other movie that Alexa Demi is in is like one of her most well-known ones is Waves, which I feel like is a movie that got pushed
She's
kind of
in
under the
Waves.
radar. I think that's kind of movie that got pushed under the radar a lot was Waves.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've been meaning to watch Waves. Have you seen Waves?
I need to watch it too.
Okay, well,
But I know she's in it.
it's on my Jay Hinkle recommendations list. So shout out Jackson. We'll definitely give it a watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to watch
Um,
it. But I know it's one of her like most well-known
yeah.
movies. So
Well, and Barbie Ferreira, obviously, like she's not in this season, but she's in the show. She has a couple new movies coming out. Specifically, she has Mile and Kicks coming out that has
yes,
Devin Bosnick in it, who is Roderick Heffley. Um, I'm locked and loaded for that. Like, I'm so excited to see that. It's supposed to be like a rom-com slash coming of age type vibe. And it's pretty much all Katie and I have talked about for the last like 2 months.
love
So
that.
I'm super excited to see that. It came out last weekend, so hopefully I can find some place to watch it because in this small freaking ass town, there's never any movies ever. We've had the same three movies for I don't know how long. Project Hail Mary, Hoppers, and Super Mario Galaxy. Those are the only three movies showing at the movie theater.
Well, I'm glad we talked about Euphoria, and we've gathered we are both very excited to see how the rest of the season goes. Definitely,
Right.
hopefully, like
We're hopeful.
stay away from the graphicness and like crazy vibes, but like I'm sure that's not gonna happen.
Well, of course not.
Anywho, of course not. But Reese, I'm wondering, what have you been watching?
Well, what I'm watching is more of like what I'm going to be watching because in about 8 months, I'm going to be sat but parked in the movie theater on November 20th.
What part?
But will be parked. I will be locked in for the new Hunger Games movie, The Sunrise on the Reaping. The trailer just came out what last week, and
Yes.
oh my gosh. One, these TikTok editors work fast because
Overtime.
I already became unwell and like inconsolable every time a Hunger Games edit popped up on my screen. And now I gotta deal with the Sunrise on the Reaping edits. It is it is seriously, oh my gosh. I'm just impressed by TikTok editors, period. Like I love TikTok edits, but also This movie is going to destroy me. I read the book, had me in an absolute puddle of tears last March. I was blown away by how good Suzanne Collins is able to write a prequel and make it connect so well and find even the tiniest of references to call back to. I didn't read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have read the three Hunger Games franchise books, so The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. I didn't read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I need to. I've obviously seen the film. And then I read Sunrise on the Reaping. They, I don't know what Suzanne Collins is doing, but if I ever see that woman, like, I'm giving her a fat kiss. She knows how to write a story. She is perfection to me. And I'm not even talking about the movies yet because we're not even gonna get into Francis Lawrence. Y'all know how I feel about my man's Francis Lawrence and the way he does a movie. Like, oh my gosh. I can just already tell that the caliber this film is going to be at is going to be insane. Like, we have years in between the very first film and this one, and you can just tell that the quality of the content we will be getting is above all else. I am so incredibly excited for it. So yeah, I just feel like I need to discuss and dive into just Sunrise on the Reaping in general. Um, yeah. So for those that don't know, which, like, are you living under a rock? Sunrise on the Reaping is the fifth book in the Hunger Games series. So the first three books, it's kind of giving like, is this how Star Wars is? Where there's like the original three and then they have like the prequels.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know that everybody has a hunch that she's going to put out another one and it's going to be like three of the originals and then three prequels, which,
Which would make sense. And I don't know, it really makes me wonder, especially when you were talking about how small things connect back, because I've only read the first one. I've read part of Catching Fire. I have not finished it. I am like getting through another book series right now. I read 25 books this year and
I
I'm
swear you say this
really like,
every
I
episode.
know
You're like,
I
I promise
need
I'll read
to.
this book.
I really need to. Anywho, but it really makes me wonder what book she has like already drafted out and lined up and where when she's waiting to release them, because she has said before that she only writes books when there's something that needs to be told us, something
Yes,
that she needs to say,
yes, yes.
which is
Queen. Hmm.
mm,
Yeah. So it's crazy to me to think though that like one day, our kids could come up to us and be like, "What's the right way to watch the movies? Like, do we start prequels first, or do we go like the
yeah,
original?" Which is just,
yeah.
it's nuts. Anyway, so we have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and then those are all Katniss's stories. Then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes that came out, what, 3 years ago? And that one is about Lucy Gray. Yeah,
It was three. Yeah, I think it was three.
that one is about Lucy Gray, who is
Sorry.
technically like Katniss's grandma, I believe,
Yeah.
in the whole lineage of all of it. But it's because they're Covey. But it's the main reason that Lucy Gray's story is important is it's because her mentor, hers is the 10th games, and her mentor is this man named Coriolanus Snow. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because that's President Snow. So, yes, we kind of get like villain origin story of President Snow in The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now we have flash forward 15 years from The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes to Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the story of Hamish Abernathy. Though Hamish Abernathy is my favorite character in the entire series. Hamish was the mentor of Peeta and Katniss. So now that we're all caught up, and if you don't know, now you know, everything that I'm about to say is no spoilers, I promise. Okay? Because I know that Ava has not read the book. And
I
Ava,
really want to.
here's the thing is I really tried when I was reading the book to not spoil anything for Ava, but it was so hard because I like pre-ordered the book and read it in like the 2 days after it came out.
Mm,
And so felt like nobody, none of my friends, none of my people had read the book. And it, it literally, it was like I had all of this built up inside of me and nowhere to talk about it.
mm,
And like I said, Suzanne Collins knows how to put references, the callbacks, and honestly, like the cameos in a way. So basically, everybody who's anybody is in Sunrise on the Reaping. So the casting of this movie is nuts. Everybody is so perfectly picked for their character. I'm so excited to see how everybody does, but I can already tell by the trailer that like it's gonna be good. Elle Fanning is playing young Effie Trinket, and oh my gosh, she's so perfect already. Like the tiniest bits and pieces that I've seen of her are unreal. One specifically is in the Sunrise on the Reaping trailer. She says, shoulders back, big smiles. And that literally takes me right back to In Catching Fire when she is walking with Katniss and Peeta and she says, chins up, smiles on. Oh my gosh! Like literally, how are you going to make such a perfect parallel like that? And then on top of that, there was another one that was Effie. Like, I'm sorry, Elle Fanning. I love Elle Fanning. I think she's perfection, and she is going to eat this role up. But she tells Haymitch because she's Haymitch's designer in his game. Sorry, I guess that was kind of a spoiler. So she's his stylist. So she tells him, make them remember you. And then Haymitch, when he's the mentor of Katniss and Peeta before their games, he says, make sure they remember you. And so I'm just like, oh, my Haymitch. And like, it makes so much sense when you go back and rewatch like Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, all of these interactions between Haymitch and Effie, knowing that they've known each other since Haymitch's games for years. They've had this relationship. And for years, because Haymitch was obviously the only victor from District 12, those two have had to mentor and take care of and be a part of 50 years of kids dying from their
mm,
district, because between Haymitch in the 25th Hunger Games to Peeta and Katniss in the 74th Hunger Games, I mean, that's almost 50 years. That's 49 years of tributes from their district that have died in the games.
mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy to me. So then we also have the thing that's special about Haymitch's games is he's the first quarter quell. So a quarter quell happens every 25 years and they are like something special with the games. So if you remember from Catching Fire, the 75th Hunger Games, that one was that the reaping will be, the tributes will be reaped from the existing pool of victors, which like some of the best facial acting you've literally ever seen in your life. If you watch that scene and watch Jennifer Lawrence in that scene, Mama Eats. One of my favorite facial acting scenes ever. So the 25th Hunger Games, what it is there are double the amount of tributes. So instead of the normal two tributes from all 12 districts, aka 24 tributes, there's four tributes from the districts. So there's 48 tributes, which is literally insane. Like that's kind of a crazy amount. So we get four tributes from District 12. We have, of course, Joseph Zada, who plays Haymitch Abernathy. And Joseph, if you want like more Joseph content, We Were Liars, which is the TV show based off of the book, is on Amazon Prime. And I watched some of it, and I just because I needed some like Joseph content to see like how he was gonna play Haymitch because he was kind of like a underdog poll. Like I did not
Hmm.
expect them to choose him.
Hmm.
Um, and so I had to see him, and I just have a great feeling about him and his performance. I can feel it in my bones. He will do our man's justice. He will
Hmm.
do Woody Harrelson the biggest honor, you know.
Hmm.
So then the next tributes that we get is Maisley Donner, who is mentioned in the other books in Hunger Games because her dad is, I believe, the mayor of District 12. So Maisley Donner, who is played by none other than Queen McKenna Grace. I love her. She is truly a powerhouse. Like top, I think that she's in what, like nine most popular franchises. I mean,
She's almost, she's made it through quite a bit. She's in Ghostbusters, Scream, um,
Five
the
Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. She's in the Conjuring series, or like Annabelle, whatever those are. Um,
She's in the Hunger Games franchise. She's now in the Scooby-Doo franchise.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
She's in the Mario franchise. Doesn't she play Princess Peach in something?
Like
Regardless,
she's everywhere.
she's a baddie. So super excited for her. So then we have Wyatt Callow, who is played by Ben Wang, and Ben Wang was just in The Long Walk, which we
Hmm.
saw last year, which we loved. And we saw The Long Walk right after they announced that Ben was playing Wyatt Callow. And so the whole movie, I kept saying when we were sitting there, I was like that's Wyatt, like that's my Wyatt.
He's
And
also
no,
in the Karate Kid series.
yeah,
He's in the Karate Kid Legends, one of the newest movies.
he's gonna do great. I really hope that this I in the like the long walk and everything is going to like kind of repel him into more fame and some more roles because I'm like I really 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 like him.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then the last tribute that we have is Luella McCoy. So Luella is this little girl and her story is absolutely nuts. I will not spoil anything about her story because it's those that know. It's crazy. So our four tributes, I love them all. The thing that like sucked going into Haymitch's games is obviously Haymitch is the victor. So you know going into it that everybody else who's a tribute that you get attached to is gonna die, which is sickening to think of. So not only do we have those four, we also get extremely attached to crazy pull, crazy reference, little baby Ampert. And Ampert is Beatty's son. I know, sorry, kind of spoiler. But it's literally freaking devastating because obviously Beatty we know from Catching Fire and the Mockingjay books. And so when obviously Beatty comes in, you're like, holy smokes, we get Beatty. But then it's like his son and that whole thing, he's just so baby. Like there I feel like this, because obviously there's 48 tributes, there was such a huge age range. And so you have some of these older ones that are on the upper side, 17 years old. And then you have some of the younger ones that are on the lower side that are like 12 and 13 years old. And it's heartbreaking to see, truly. Um, and I just know that the kids that got casted in these roles are going to like sweep my heart away. I'm not
Yeah.
ready for it. I'm literally not ready for it. Like I said, I've already seen edits where people put the like audiobook recording over scenes and I'm like, cut it out. Get me out of here. Right. Um, just absolutely crazy. And then we have a bunch of other people that are like coming back. So not only did I say we have Beatty, which is I Kelvin Harris, I think is the Kelvin Harris Jr. is the actor who plays young Beatty. We also get Maya Hawke, who's playing young Wiress.
Like
And
holy pull.
holy poll, okay, right now, everybody pause this episode. Go look up the comparison of the actors. It is literally insane. Like, it is one of the best casting I have ever seen. And Maya Hawke is so elite. Like, people aren't talking about Maya Hawke enough because I think that she's a phenomenal actress.
Phenomenal. I love her.
Super, super excited to see more of that. Obviously, we know Wiress from Catching Fire 2. I'm I'm curious and eager
From
to see
Catching Fire too.
Catching Fire as well. I'm eager to see. So obviously, like the virus that we know in Catching Fire is kind of like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And so I'm curious, to see where that comes into play for you guys.
Hmm.
You know, what happens?
I know because Reese accidentally spoiled it to me
No,
when she was reading the book.
ever. Anyway, we also get Caesar Flickerman. Caesar Flickerman is the only person from Capital that I enjoy. But hello, Kieran Culkin. They could not have picked a better
Icon.
person. They could not have picked a better person. We all know, like, Stanley Tucci plays Caesar Flickerman, and like Stanley is
You can't
untouchable.
outdo the
The
doer.
doer. He's untouchable, but genuinely the only other person that could have played him
Stanley, right here.
is Kieran Culkin. They just
Yep.
bring the same like whimsical, kind of delusional, like, do they even know what's going on energy that I'm like, there could not have been a better person than Kieran Culkin. That was
Hmm.
another one that I was like, who the heck are they going to get to play? I was very, very curious to see, like, of all the people, who, because to me, Stanley Tucci's role as Caesar Flickerman is like an untouchable role that's going to be like hard to match up to, but
Hmm.
Kieran has it in the bag. I'm like not worried at all by anybody in this cast to see their
Hmm.
performances.
Hmm.
We are also getting Jesse Plemons playing Plutarch Heavensby, which I know I keep saying this, but like holy cow. I love Jesse Plemons. You and I,
Hmm.
Jesse deserved at least a nomination for
Hmm.
Polonia. That's for dang sure. And I just feel like with all of his roles in like Kinds of Kindness and Bologna, a bunch of like other films that he's in, he just has such an amazing range. And so I feel like this book specifically gives a lot more I guess depth to Plutarch as a character than what we get in the other books. And so I'm really eager for everybody else to kind of see and to see how Jesse puts himself into that role. Lastly, we have Fiennes, I think is yeah, Ralph Fiennes. That's who is playing President Snow, and that's the only one that everybody is kind of like, I guess not like questionable or hesitant about. People were really, really wanting Donald Sutherland, who plays President Snow's son, Kiefer, to take the role, but he said that he wouldn't do it, which is like
Hmm.
totally understandable. Um, I don't blame him at all. It's really difficult, especially after your father's passed, to like take
Hmm.
on a role that was his.
Yep.
So I personally think that Ralph's gonna do great. I think
Hmm.
he's body.
I'm
There's
excited.
yeah. I think that it's just gonna be fun. I think everybody is gonna do it justice. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm really, really, really excited to see
Girl.
how everything plays out.
Yeah, you know who you forgot?
Max.
Max. Hmm.
Yes.
Lily Taylor.
Yeah, Lily Taylor is just amazing in general. Like when I think Lily Taylor, I think of The Conjuring and her role in, I think it was the second one is what she's in. Whichever one has the clapping, which is like
Yeah. Whew.
terrifying. That one and the whole clapping in the basement, oh, makes me sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it's like I said, if this film is not snubbed in awards season, I think this could take a casting Oscar. Genuinely, like I think it's hard when you're making sequels, prequels, you're putting something out there that's already in a like cinematic universe, but I just think that they truly did such good research finding people that are
Mhm.
going to build upon these like beloved characters already. I think they
Mhm.
really did a good job of that in The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I hope that it kind of comes, full circle for everything. So I'm
I'm really
so
excited too.
excited. Oh, it's
I
just
need to read the books.
you do. Lock in. Everybody lock in before the 20th of November. Please.
I'll
It's
probably have read them by November, especially
surely.
with the rate I've been reading books.
Okay, girl. Okay, 25 books this year.
My goal is 15.
So I have read two, one,
Oh,
two, one. I've read one. But
so
it's okay.
close.
I was no, wait, have I read two?
I think you've read
No,
two.
I've read one.
I'll try to help you out.
Well, I've read three of the books in the Heated Rivalry series. You know what? It's okay. We in this together,
Well, I'm
Slim.
reading, well, I just started my first ever cowboy romance book series, and
Okay, cowboy romance.
there was one hockey book in the series. That's why I started it.
Right. Naturally. Naturally. I just started Pole Position, which is the F1 version of Heated Rivalry.
I'm on the last book of the Chestnut Springs series.
Okay. So
So good.
we love books, we love movies, we love TV show. You guys already know the deal. We're just obsessed with everything. So what's new?
We're just fangirls.
We're just fangirls at heart. You know what? When I die, will you make sure that fangirl is on my grave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reese
Yeah.
Potter, sister, mother,
Mother.
but like mother in the sense that
Mother and like
she's
mother.
mother, sister, mother, and then
Well, you forgot daughter.
fangirl. Deep. Oh, sister, daughter, mother. Like put like a
Like a Tyler Eel.
CUNT. That's got to be on there. Diva fangirl. That's what I want on my.
Period.
Okay, and like the best picture of me you could find.
Okay, so wearing all black tomorrow with fact. We have school tomorrow,
I'm gonna have to.
right?
I'm gonna have to like take that good picture because like up until now in the 24 years of my life, I don't think I have that picture yet. When I die, I
Um,
need you to like Ouija board me to confirm what photo you're gonna use for my like the like pamphlet or what's that thing called?
obituary.
Right, like whatever photo they choose to like plaster everywhere that everybody's gonna be posting and be like, R.I.P. R.I.P. She was such a light. She was such a good friend. Like, I need confirmation
Who's
that
saying that? I'm just kidding.
okay, and on
I'm
that
saying it.
note,
I'm
guys,
saying it.
we love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you in two. Love y'all. Bye.
No.